What up? What up? What up? What up? You already know what it is. You have just entered War Zone. Now, we have a lot of haywire big business going on all around us. We have big business going on all around us, and we have chaos all around us. We understand what's at stake here. We've been here before. Through numerous battles, we've been here. We know how to do this, right? So you have the New York mayor Oreo in the hands of a self-proclaimed socialist. His name is Zohran Mamdani, and Mamdani was born in Uganda. Okay, Zohran came here 8 years ago. And now, come January, he could potentially be the mayor of the largest city in America. With that being said, the Republican establishment, as well as, I bet you, parts of the Democratic establishment, is working very, very hard behind the scenes to gather information on Zohran Mamdani. Supposedly, Zohran made a few mistakes on his citizenship application, which could land him on a first-class ticket out of the United States of America, unable and eligible to be the New York City mayor moving forward. So now we have many, many people in New York City right now speaking up about it. You have the Democratic machine, and that Democratic machine was turned on somehow through the Democrats. Even though the top hierarchy of the Democratic Party is going to war with Mamdani and the progressives in the Democratic Party, i.e. AOC and Bernie Sanders. There's a civil war in the Democratic Party. The civil war is against the established hierarchy Democrats, such as your Pelosi's, your Chuck Schumer's, your Barack Obama's. Going to war with your AOC's, your Bernie Sanders, and your Mamdanis, the new incoming potential mayor for New York City. Now, I say potential because the Republican establishment, as well as parts of the Democratic hierarchy, is working on stopping and deporting Mamdani. Mamdani made obvious mistakes, and he can be held accountable for these mistakes if our government so forth wants to move forth on this particular issue, and if they can actually prove it. But we have certain evidence, and we're going to see what happens with that. We're going to hear from the president. We're going to hear from the hierarchy in the conservative or Republican establishment speak about what their plans are moving forward for Mamdani. And we're going to talk about what's going on with our New Yorkers in New York City, Black women, our Black FBA brothers speaking up and out about what's going on. Me being a New Yorker, I totally understand that a lot of the New Yorkers in New York City is getting the information pretty late. They don't realize, a lot of them don't realize that a new mayor is coming in. A lot of them did not vote. But the ones that did vote are frequent voters. These are your church parishioners. These are your church elders, grandmothers that go to church, right? These are your elders that's not in church, that are loyal to the Democratic Party. And they according to them, they are only attempting to help their country, their community. So a lot of times they don't really know exactly what's going on. They don't know that they're being jacklegged. They don't know that they're being, pulled and tricked and misled and guided off of a cliff. And it's up to us to help them to understand what is going on. Okay? If you look all around you, I don't care what city you're in, you see a mass influx of foreign people. I don't care where you're at, you see it. You see it. Let's hear what the sister from New York City has to say.
So there's all this controversy over New York, right? Because of Mamdani's speech. Because we heard him list every damn body but Black Americans, and New York was built off the backs of Black Americans. Okay? And when I look in the comment sections, I see so many people who immigrated here who immigrated to this country from other countries, right? And who are New Yorkers who live in New York, right? And they're like, oh, but New York is known for Ellis Island and da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, no, New York, first of all, New York was a colony that was established in the late 1600s, right? New York was a slave trading colony. Okay? Again, New York was a slave trading colony. They abolished slavery before the South did, but they still participated in slavery. Okay? Brooklyn had freaking auction blocks. Okay? Brooklyn was one of the largest slave trading areas. Okay? They moved more people than places in the South did. Okay? That's how much slave trading they were doing. They rivaled the South. Shipbuilding for the transatlantic slave trade is one of the things that built the New York economy. Many of the initial people who became wealthy off of participating in the slave trade in some form or fashion. Whether it was even them setting up a business to move products from the South, from the southern plantations to the North. Okay? Many of them had house servants. They didn't have whole fucking plantations and shit, but they had enslaved house servants. Okay? New York even has a place in Jim Crow history. They didn't have an established Jim Crow per se. Okay? But they had the Cotton Club. Which was all fucking white. They had the Astoria service entry instead of the fucking folks. Okay? And even though we know that there was a great migration of Black Americans from the South to the North, there were Black Americans who had always been in New York and had been there since the late 1600s. Okay?
Whoa, man, amazing car. When did you become a millionaire?
What is this for?
We're trying to get advice for the younger generation.
I made my first million last year, actually.
What line of work are you in?
I'm in sales.
Okay, what's the best advice you can give someone that's in sales?
You're only as good as your sales reps. And your CRM.
What CRM do you use?
We used to use one of the old legacy CRMs, but
The history of New York does not just begin with Ellis Island in the 1920s and 30s. Y'all are erasing 300 years of New York history, right? And that 300 years of New York history really doesn't involve y'all. Not to mention the role that New York played in the Underground Railroad for enslaved people who were following the North Star and fleeing through the North up into New York. Some stopped and stayed there, and some moved all the way up and through Canada. Very important meetings were held even for the civil rights for the civil rights movement were held there as well. Okay? So to erase Black Americans, you had the Harlem Renaissance, right? To erase Black Americans, okay, and the history of how Black Americans built and shaped and molded New York is to not tell the truth about the history of New York, and is erasure of Black American history, heritage, culture, and very important moments and times through history. It's a fact, okay? New York had numerous huge free Black societies, huge bourgeois, wealthy, aristocratic free Black societies, okay? Had very, very important, well-educated businessmen who assisted and helped the South in many different ways were in New York during Jim Crow. This is important shit. And here's the thing that gets me. Y'all will say all the time, Americans don't know anything about anybody else's country. Americans don't know nothing about this. Americans are so uneducated. But y'all literally come to a country, live in the country, and don't know the history of the place that you're at. You don't know the history of the place you are standing on. But you want to argue with everybody who's telling you, hey, whoa, wait a minute. Even the Statue of Liberty. The Statue of Liberty didn't come about because of immigration. The Statue of Liberty came about as a gift from France to commemorate the friendship between America and France, as well as to celebrate the centennial of the Declaration of Independence. That's why July 4th, 1776 is inscribed in Roman numerals on the tablet that Lady Liberty is holding, as well as to celebrate the abolishment of slavery, because the person who commissioned the piece was a huge anti-slavery abolitionist. This is why Lady Liberty has broken shackles on her ankles.
It gets a little bit frustrating sometimes, that we even have to put our energy into explaining to these people about the magic that our grandfathers and grandmothers, our ancestors, cousins, aunts, uncles put into, building this country. It's sad that we have to explain this. It's very, very frustrating. I have been very, very frustrated for the last couple of days now, because it's like I can't believe that I can't believe that I am arguing with Africans online. I can't believe we're arguing with I can't believe this. These people, and then you have Mamdani getting on in front of the whole world, basically, because that New York mayoral race was just like had everybody glued to it. And this guy is going to completely mention everybody but the Black man and woman. And seriously, we're just tired of all of that. We are tired of all of that. Okay? We just really are. Okay? We're tired of religious wars. We don't even be warring with our religion. Whites be staying on their side, blacks be staying on their side. Blacks worship the way they worship, right? And whites, they worship the way they worship. We be under the same umbrella, right? As far as Christianity, but they worship the way they worship. Blacks worship the way they worship, and they're fine with that. I mean, like, seriously, they're fine with that. This one believes that. This one don't believe that. This one believes that. They're fine with it. We're tired of this carnage around us. We're tired of it. We're tired of it. We can see it. We can feel it. You cannot tell me you don't see and feel a large foreign presence in your community right now. I don't care where you're at. I don't care where you're at. You can see it and feel it right now. You can see it, and especially if you're in New York City. If you're in New York, you know what it is. A lot of my New Yorkers, a lot of them are not online. They're not, a lot of them are not online. A lot of them, when I mean by online, they're not online giving you this intel like I'm giving you this intel right now, right? A lot of them not, they're not really, they're on different time zones, man. Okay? They don't, it's the city that never sleeps. Everything is fast, extremely fast in New York City. They don't have too much time to get intricate with the politics too much like that. Oh, that's who to vote for, dog? Oh, yeah. Okay, him? Oh, okay, dog. Okay. The grandmothers. Oh, that's who? Okay, baby. Yes. Yeah, that's the grandmothers. They only want what's good for their community, but they don't know that they're being duped on the back end, a lot of them. They don't know, but we're here to help them out. We have these tools. We can get to them online. They're listening, and we're here to feed the information that they need. Okay? We have to get it to them. You have to tell your parents and your grandparents, your aunts and uncles, you got to let them know, it ain't, not her, not him. We have to now gatekeep our community all day, all around, from the political sphere to, who we are dealing with socially. We really have to really be mindful of this now. It's really not a game. If you haven't been following really on what's going on in politics, it is really not a game right now. You might want to say we are at war right now. Dare I say we are at war right now? Dare I say we are at some form of a war right now, or getting there? These people are attempting to erase our history every time they get the chance. Fat Joe was just trying to erase our history. Fat Joe was just trying to erase our history. Now you have Mamdani, a damn, what is he, an Arab, African, coming over here attempting to erase Black history in America, erase Black history in New York City. How you going to erase Black history in New York City? One of the largest slave trading blocks that they have had was in New York City. Started the stock market from the slaves that they were trading from New York City. Started it up. To this day, our New York Stock Exchange is started from the money and blood of the people that we are connected to, our ancestors, point blank, period. This is why we are on here. This is why we look at this type of content, because it's in our veins. We can feel it. It's all through our DNA. Point blank, period. Let's move forward. See what the sister got to say, right? Because sister in New York, man, we can't be playing around. They speaking out now. They're speaking out now. I'm telling you, normally my sisters in New York, I'm from New York City. Normally they're not on it like this right here, but this is big.
The Lady of Liberty statue
this is big.
delivered long before the boom. Attached to immigration because it's the first thing that many of those Ellis Island immigrants seen as they were being welcomed into America. But you were being welcomed into America, the land of the free, because of what we did. Because of what we went through. That's the truth. So to erase us from the history of anything is quite frankly un-American.
It's good iced tea. Make sure y'all get y'all some. Start drinking natural. Let's go.
Would you be happy if you stayed where you are in life and job forever? If the answer is yes, then this video is not for you. But if you want to finally achieve the time, location, and financial freedom you know you deserve, then this new career may be the...
What kind of fresh shit is this?
Really going, she going on.
Remain a city of immigrants.
You hear
A
this
city
dude?
built by immigrants.
City ran by.
And as of tonight, led by an
He
immigrant.
said, led by an
It's
immigrant.
a fucking lie.
This guy got on there and said,
New York City
led by
was
an
not built
immigrant.
by immigrants.
So we're wrong for
They can
calling
want
these
that to
people
be the
out.
truth.
We're
all
wrong for
the
putting
fucking
it in
day,
our
but it
thumbnails.
is not.
Immigrants.
New York City, formerly known as New Amsterdam, was built by our enslaved ancestors. Immigrants didn't have a fucking thing to do with it. That was our ancestors. Flesh and blood. Being spilled. To build these goddamn colonizers their new world. Our people did it. As a matter of fact, New Amsterdam had the highest population of enslaved people out of any other colony in the North. The fucking highest. By the 1800s, 1 in every 5 New Yorkers that you came in contact with was an enslaved African. Right down at the East River, Wall Street, at the East River. That's where they marched our fucking ancestors up on the goddamn blocks, and they sold our ancestors. Our ancestors were the chief fucking commodity in their goddamn stock exchange. Our ancestors set the fucking market. And this just goes to show you right here, no matter how progressive the space you're in, how progressive the fucker that's talking thinks he is, racism is still alive and well. And this is the thank you Mamdani is giving Black New Yorkers and African immigrants in New York City, because it was our people that pulled his ass across the fucking finish line. It wasn't no fucking immigrants. It was Black Americans and African immigrants. And our blood is not the default to spill in this goddamn country or this world. I suggest you all not let him fucking forget this. Because just as easy as it rolled off his goddamn tongue, baby, we are a fucking afterthought. He's done too goddamn much. I'm starting not to fucking like the guy. Black folks in New York, you stand your fucking ground.
You can't be real, boy. I swear.
Intellectual, young Black FBA intellectual told us, stand our ground. Stand our ground in New York City.
And as of tonight, led by an immigrant.
Like, people be forgetting that the civil rights movement influenced this immigration. Yeah, immigration in the National Act of 1965, if it wasn't for the civil rights movement, even these people that's coming from these different places wouldn't even be able to come to America. And because of that, that law abolished racial discrimination in immigration. So people like to skip the fact that Black American people never done that. I mean, most of your people would have never been able to done nothing if it wasn't for my people being able to fight for those laws, for your people could do something, right?
That when politics speaks to you without condescension, we can usher in a new era of leadership.
And because of that, that act opened the door for greater immigration, all the way down from Asia, Africa, Southern Europe, which gave you provision for refugees.
We opened the door for these immigrants to come in here.
We will fight for you because we are you. Or as we say on Steinway, ana minkum wa ilaykum.
So when you people get these political
Talking
positions
about-
of power, please stop
Yo.
doing this because you actually work for something. Especially when you don't announce what Black American indigenous people done in this country for your people to benefit from.
I feel like everyone wants to take credit for what America has become, or what it is today, as it stands today, while simultaneously kind of discrediting and undermining the fact that there was hundreds of years of evils and atrocities that happened to even get America to the point where people would even want to be here at all, that people would want to migrate over here. Because the truth be told is nobody in their right mind would leave their homeland, their family, their friends, to come to a place that didn't already have some level of opportunity. that wasn't already.
Our sister's sharp. Our sister sharp. She said, why would these, why would anybody in their right mind? Sister Sharp, she said, why would anybody in their right mind, want to go to a undeveloped land, right? And like set up shop? That doesn't even make sense. No, you would go to a land that's developed and then set up shop, So how are these immigrants claiming that they built New York City? How are these immigrants claiming that they built New York City? They want to push this narrative. They want to make them feel good. They want to come out with the immigrant pride. Everybody is copying us, Black pride, and now they got the whole rainbow pride thing going on. What they gonna come out with the Arab pride now? What's up? You know what I'm saying? Everybody is just, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? What is going on? But we see it, and we are identifying it, and we're calling it out. We're calling it out. You must be on your local politics. You must be. Don't listen, brothers and sisters. I have some people in the game. I know what is going on. Okay, in the political realm, do not listen to people when they say your vote do not count. In your local spit, wherever you're at, in your local government, your vote counts. You can completely flip your local government in your favor. We are strategically set up to win every freaking district if we assemble together. We are. The white people split their vote. They're always even with the vote. So what makes the blacks powerful in politics, they call it bullet voting, because we bullet vote. We will vote for the one person. Okay? We will vote for one person. It's important we get out there and understand what's going on. These people is attempting to catch us sleeping. That's what's going on. These people are attempting to catch us sleeping. The treasonous Democrats, now I'm talking about the treasonous ones behind the scenes, the treasonous Democrats and the treasonous Republicans that's working behind the scenes together, making this happen, bringing in these illegals, right? They know that the blacks are sleeping when it comes to politics. They know that the people that are voting in politics when it comes to the blacks, and especially in New York City and else places, but I can speak to New York because I'm from New York, so I understand, especially the blacks in New York, a lot of them are not registered to vote, first of all, okay? A lot of them are not registered to vote, and they are sleeping right now at the wheel. And these Arabs and these Asians and these Indians, East Indians and what have you, these foreigners that's coming in here are going and attempting to catch us sleeping at the wheel, just like they just did with Mamdani winning the New York mayoralship. Okay? It's like once it happened, and then, I don't want it to be too late. Where our people ain't waking up. Once it happened, it's like, oh, because once our people wake up, we up, but we're waking up now. You can see it right now on Black TikTok right now. We ain't freaking around. You can see it on YouTube right now. We not freaking around. We're up. We are up and woke, not playing around, up, woke, conscious, whatever you want to say, however you want to put it. That's what we are doing right now. But you don't get it. We are being encircled. We are being encircled. They just sent 90,000 Africans from New York City to Buffalo. Why? Because the 90,000, and this is last month, the 90,000 Africans in New York City that was in New York City could not afford to stay in New York City. Oh, and I guess the other ones can, right? I guess the other ones just so happen they can. No, they have to slowly move these people out of New York City. I'm telling you, New York City is about to implode. It's so many people out there, and it looks like there's more immigrants than blacks and whites. I kid you not. You have to see it to believe it. You have to see it to believe it. I remember looking at it online, like, oh, okay, I see that going on. That's what's happening in Chicago. Oh wow, I remember seeing the blacks fussing in Chicago. I'm like, damn, what's up with my people? They all right? I know they're gonna get it together, whatever they're going through. I wasn't really tuned in on what was happening over there like that too much. Then I seen, oh, you know, okay, they fussing out there in Florida and everything. I'm like, okay, with the immigrants, right? I'm like, okay. Then I went back to New York City. I'm from New York City. I'm like, what? Are you freaking kidding me? Yo, bro, it's something like a straight out of a freaking sci-fi movie, bro. Something that I have never, ever seen before, bro. There is so many foreigners in New York City right now, bro. Will Mamdani be deported? They are on his tail. I can guarantee you that right now. They are on his tail. They are on his tail. Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Make sure you follow this channel. Make sure you follow this channels. Make sure you like and subscribe wherever you at, wherever you streaming from. You know what I'm saying? Like, subscribe, leave a comment. Make sure you, wherever you at, salute me by, make sure you tap in and stream in, follow that button, hit that follow button, and let's go, man. Let's strike up this battleship, this battle tank, and keep it moving, man. We cannot be playing around. This is a warfare. This is a war right now. This is not looking good at all right now. This is not looking good at all right now. This ain't looking good at all. Y'all let me know what y'all think in that comment section below. I love you all except for the ones I don't. Peace.